Welcome to Wisdom Teachings with Dr. Amanda Love. Today's topic, embodied worth. Embodied worth. Somehow, someway, we all know that we are fundamentally worthy. Even if we don't live this knowing, somehow it is still known to us, even if only through some distant flicker of intuitive insight or conceptual understanding. The mere fact that we exist, that we be, is enough. Without anything added or subtracted, just as we are totally and completely worthy. Nothing that you ever add to yourself, alter, change, or get rid of will make you more or less worthy. Every pattern that you have, that you think that you need to let go of, does nothing to touch your worth. Everywhere that you lack awareness of yourself, all of your blind spots and mistakes can never do anything to affect your worth. You are essentially untouchable already here and now. This begs the question as to why we then feel so touchable, why we feel that things can add to or take away from our fundamental worthiness when in fact they cannot. This experience of lack, less than, or not enough exists only as an experience, as an option on the smorgasbord of life from which we can choose to partake. While it may not feel like a choice to you, but rather like an inescapable fact from which you must endlessly and forever prove yourself, there is a deeper realization to your true nature patiently waiting on the other side from where you see now. Perspective is everything when it comes to what we experience. While it seems that life tells us what it is the other way around. We tell life what it is and then experience our perception of it. It begins and ends with us. We are the source of everything we experience, including lack of self. Giving ourselves the experience of lack is just the same as giving ourselves the experience of abundance of self. The only difference is that one experience feels better and is more desirable to us than the other. Yet we still choose lack over and over again, which only means that we perceive greater benefit in the perception of seeing ourselves as not enough than we do in seeing ourselves as enough. While it might seem confusing as to why we might do this, we need only dig a little deeper into our psyche to discover our intentions. Perhaps we believe that it's humble or more honorable to perceive and experience ourselves as not enough. Maybe proving ourselves gives us something to do, and we fear the fullness of completion because we think it means that we stop growing or evolving. Perhaps we think that people won't like us, love us, or want us if we stand in the absolute power that we are. A thorough investigation as to how the experience of unworthiness serves you is the first step in seeing the smorgasbord of options that are available to you so that you can clearly discern what you truly desire. When you know who you are, you experience untouchability. Who you are is not a set of characteristics, preferences, roles, jobs, activities, hobbies, or anything that you do. While this is quite often the traditional way that we've been taught to think about who we are, it externalizes our sense of self onto the stuff of life rather than the recognition of ourselves as the source of life. It often starts with the question, who do you want to be, or what do you want to do when you grow up? If we don't know what we want to do or what we like or don't like, then we perceive that there is something fundamentally wrong or missing from us. We start viewing ourselves from the perspective of lack and feel like we don't know ourselves and that we must do something to figure it out. Our identity is outsourced onto the experiential material world. We go out to prove ourselves by trying to figure out who we are rather than just resting in the pure and simple awareness that we exist and that we be is who we are. This might seem radical, but who you are never changes. Preferences will come and go, characteristics will change over time, You will be drawn to different jobs, roles, hobbies, and such. Yet you will never, ever fundamentally change who you are. You will have different experiences of yourself, but the you that is the actual you will never be different. You have not and never will change. Only your experience of yourself changes. You never need to do more, be more, express more, transmit more, share more, or any kind of more to be yourself and to be fully and completely worthy. As you are in this very moment, you will always and forever be. When you begin to see this self that you are, that never changes, that is eternally present and untouchable, you will naturally rest more and more into it. The paradox is that the ease of changing our experience of ourselves comes with resting into the self that never changes. If we don't rest into the infinitely worthy self that just is, then changing our experience will come with more work and effort. It will feel hard and riddled in doubt and uncertainty because this is what comes along with fusing ourselves with the experience of life rather than knowing ourselves as the source of the experience. When we are clear in our identity as the unchangeable and untouchable one, there is no more threat and no more fear. Absolutely nothing can happen to us because we are the ones creating the experience. We are no longer the object of our experience, but the source of it. Growth, evolution, and novelty of experience will continue infinitely. You can recognize and rest into your eternally worthy self and still create experience. It's simply that you create from a different lens, one of fullness rather than lack. Creating from abundance is not better than creating from lack. It's simply different. A different way to experience yourself. Everything in creation that has been created and will be created is simply the one infinite eternal being experiencing itself in every possible way. You are that one. It is who you are. You are not the personality identity you've come to know yourself to be, but rather you are the source of all experiences and expressions. Investigate and choose consciously the lens from which you desire to create your now experience of life.